Well, we've got a new background, so that means one of two things. Something's happened, and I'm on the road, and that's true in both cases. JT Daniels, numerous reports now that he has tested positive for COVID-19. So, what does that mean for the Georgia Bulldogs as they get ready for the Orange Bowl? It means a lot of different stuff, and it makes things very complicated moving forward for Georgia. You've already seen the line in this game moved down a little bit. It was going towards 9, and now it's sort of solidly at 7.5. Um, and what has happened now for Georgia could certainly happen in Michigan. I mean, we can't know what these next few weeks, well, next 10 days are going to be like. I know for us, we're getting ready to go down there to cover this game, and we just don't really know what to expect next. Georgia was getting through its practices, and there's a couple of things to sort of walk through here. First of all, with JT, hopefully his health is good. My understanding is that he's been vaccinated, which means that he would not have been tested, that he would have had to have symptoms, and having symptoms for this is not real good either. I mean, it just means it's first of all, it means you're sick, like you're not feeling well. It might not be the end of the world that they're breaking for Christmas here pretty soon, and it might make things worse. It may mean that guys go home and get this or can spread it in their community. So we talked with Nolan Smith earlier today on Tuesday, or well, earlier when I'm recording this, and he was saying that everybody was wearing masks again in the facility. So this is the real problem right now is that if you're Georgia and you're dealing with Omicron, COVID, Delta, one of the strains, it's not necessarily that guys will get knocked out of the game. Like by my math, JT Daniels will not necessarily get knocked out of playing in this game. The concern I would have right now is, are you going to have enough people to practice after a while? And that's at Georgia. The upper Midwest has been having, because of weather, has naturally been having more problems with this because people are indoors and so forth. This is what happened last winter. So that is the concern, I think, right now, as far as I see it, is practice time. Like, for instance, I mean, JT's not going to be able to practice for a while, is my understanding. Now, I could be wrong about that, and Georgia can come out and correct me and other reporters about these sorts of things, but they've not discussed that. We will not get Kirby Smart again for another 5 days, so the day after Christmas. So there's a lot of we're not quite sure what's going on. Secondly, if JT were making a move, to start or play in this Orange Bowl, well, that's just been massively complicated by what has happened here. Um, I don't know really what to think on that front. It's a good question. But I mean, and again, this is just simple math from me. The 10 days starts from when your symptoms showed up. Georgia's not a bunch of morons. No one's going to say that the symptoms showed up on the 21st. They're going to say that they showed up on the 20th or 19th, which is probably when they showed up anyway, to be honest. So, that would get you clear of your 10 days. But this is exactly what you did not want to happen. I mean, Georgia has steered clear of this for a long time, including the 2020 season. Now, it popped up a little bit during the bowl preparations, or excuse me, the bowl game a year ago against Cincinnati. Like, that was not an ideal situation either. They did have issues there. But, um, you know, I don't know if you can have a player as important as the starting quarterback or the backup quarterback miss this much time and then be effective in the game. Here's number two, and this is the really bad thing. There's only four quarterbacks at Georgia. Okay? Stetson, Carson, JT, and Brock Vandegrift. They've all taken snaps this year, but only two of them have started. That's only four guys, and they're all in the same room together, and they were all practicing together, much of that, if not all of that, outdoors. That's where you could have another problem is you could have an outbreak and it affects your quarterback room. I mean, I mean, I don't see how necessarily they would delay this game. That seems very unlikely to me. But I'm going to tell you right now, if the quarterbacks of Georgia have COVID, they're not going to play this game with, you know, with Trayvon Walker playing quarterback, and then running the wild dog. Okay, so something is going to happen along the way. So my concern, of course, is the immediate health of the player and the people they're surrounded by at their house or their home. Number two, is that person going to be able to play? Number three, is that group going to be able to practice? This has become a real big mess all of a sudden. And with 90+% of Georgia's team vaccinated, according to Kirby Smart months ago. Now, I don't know how many of them have been boosted. That's a good question, actually. Um, but it could be that some guys get it and are not symptomatic and they just go on about their day. It could be that all of the quarterback room gets it. It could be that Todd Monken gets it. It could be that Todd Hartley gets it. It could be that, you know, Dan Lanning got it in Oregon and brought it. I mean, we don't know. So they're going to have to go back to what they did in 2020. Getting down to Florida and being outdoors more might not be the end of the world, but we got 5 days before they get on that plane. I cannot confirm if Georgia's going to practice before they get to Florida on the 26th, but my suspicion is they will. Okay, they'll probably practice in Athens on the 26th and all board a plane. Well, can JT Daniels fly on that plane? No, probably not. I mean, so this has become a total mess. And that is JT is one thing, but that it's a player on the team at all. And this particular variant, whereas it may well not be as serious as the as Delta, it's easier spread. So more people may get it, and it may become problematic in a way that Delta was not in terms of widespreadness, but just I think for Georgia, we've not heard what's going on at Michigan. My understanding is they've not had media availability yet, so there's no telling what could be going on at Michigan. Um, but if you're betting that Stetson Bennett is going to start for the Orange Bowl, that would probably be a smart bet right now. And Georgia's just going to have to figure out how to get through this. Right now, we don't know what we don't know. And frankly, that includes Kirby Smart. I mean, he can only know so much in these situations. Um, but again, I think it was certainly Nolan that said, we're putting masks back on and we're going to do anything to win games. But you're not going to win games if you don't have quarterbacks to play. And I'm not being hyperbolic. We don't know yet. I mean, my suspicion is that if JT Daniels is available to play and needs to play, he'll play. But, there are preparations that have to take place, and the bulk of it is in Athens, honestly. Um, and now we're, in a couple of days you're going to break for Christmas, quick turnaround, um, and get back home. Now, let me just double check something here because I want to make sure. Yeah, they go home on the 23rd, I think. That's not totally official, but they go home on the 23rd. But my guess is they're practicing on the 23rd, then going home. That's what we did in basketball. We would practice the morning and then leave. And then so 23rd you'd practice in the morning. You're off the 24th, you're off the 26th, back in Athens on the 26th practicing, then flying out to Miami. So I don't know that, but that's probably what's going on here. So, if you're JT, you in theory would be missing, I guess today's practice, the 22nd and the 23rd. So that'd be three practices right there that you would miss. And then you would not miss, obviously, the 24th and 25th. Now, I mean, is it positive? Is it possible you had a false positive? I mean, sure, but if you got symptoms and you test positive, you know. So Georgia's at where they're at here, and that's the news right now. Um, just, this may be the background you see for a while because we again, this has become a very difficult thing. We will be in Miami on the 26th. I fully expect Georgia to be down there the 26th. I think everybody needs to watch what's going on with Michigan too. We can't know what's going on with Michigan, but we'll be here to talk to you about it. Dean Lake from Dog Post. Thanks for watching. We'll see you over on the website.